A blogger named Jess Linda, who was divorced 20 years ago,
Right.
wrote a question on blogher.com saying, you know, if you didn't get much help before you broke up, it's unlikely you're going to get much help after. How do you find peace if you're still dependent upon the cooperation from an individual who isn't right there with you?
This is something I found an amazing part of the process. And I joined Park Slope Single Parents, which is an online group, when I was finally ready to sort of get out and get reconnected to other people. And we had this conversation so much because people became single parents hundreds of different ways. And, you know, what I really believe in the end is you just have to keep practicing letting go, and that you can't control the other person, and that you have to sort of figure out what are they able to do and stop wishing for what they can't, which is really hard. I don't mean to make that sound breezy. It takes months and months. And so when I'm talking in my book about sort of an optimistic outcome, a connected breakup, I think you can have a connected breakup even if the partner is being incredibly hostile and aggressive and, you know, kind of trying to be a catalyst for bad things. You just have to find that quiet place and just be like, well, that's all he's going to do, and move on. I think we re-injure ourselves by continually holding on to what's gone.
So, were you? Did you come to that when you had? There was one particular moment at the very end of your divorce where you had to give in on something you thought you really needed and deserved.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story and how you got past that?
When Chris and I were in the final stages of negotiating our separation agreement, and we really had not disagreed about much. I mean, I'll give it to Chris that he said, you negotiate for a living. Why don't you tell me what you think is right? And we'll do that. But in writing out the visitation schedule, I had asked for him to come to the house one morning a week at 6:45 so I could go to the gym or early meetings at work. And in the mediation session, he was really angry and put his foot down. I was like, absolutely not. That's taking care of you. That is not taking care of Zach, and I won't do it. And I was so angry, and I was so mad at myself for putting myself in a position where he could reject me again. I was horrified that day. And it was interesting because the lawyers said, my lawyer piped up and said, you know, taking care of the custodial parent is part of it sometimes, and his lawyer concurred, but still, I backed down. I was like, forget it. So what I realized then is I was still asking for things from Chris. I was asking him for something, despite the fact that he had been telling me for 2 years that he was done with that. And that was really the moment where I was like, okay, I have to get it. I have to get it. I cannot make him have a relationship with me the way I want. And in fact, I never could. I never could even do that when we were married. So I think I'm actually a much better partner now for those kinds of lessons. It's not women's favorite things to be told that we can't control the men in our lives. We have to get good at learning how to do that, though.